this video, I am with Moxie. She's a 30-year-old paint mare. She's amazing. She gives lessons to all sorts of kids and adults, and she loves her job and she loves it. But she has a little bit of a problem and my students have a big problem on her, is that they can't make her turn to the right. Because she is a very good illustration of a little bit of crookedness in her back, a little bit of rotation in her back, which makes things very difficult. So I'm going to show you the first part of the video. I'm going to show you exactly what happens with my students. And then on the second part, I'll show you what I do to correct it. So here she is. In that corner, she starts to overbend. She puts a lot of weight on that left shoulder, and then she turns her head to the right to counteract that the weight distribution. So here you can see that my corner is pretty bad. And here in that still picture, we can see exactly what's going on. So if you look at my belt line, you can see that my belt is not horizontal. It is square with the saddle, but the saddle is shifted a little bit to the left because actually Moxie, the left side of her back is a little bit lower than the right side. But I am not correcting that, so I'm just sitting square with the saddle, which puts more of my weight to the left side of the horse. You can also, when you look at the feet and the stirrup, you can see that my outside leg is lower than my inside leg, and that's no good. You can also see that my left shoulder seems a little higher than my right shoulder because I think for compensation I'm trying to be vertical in the upper part of my body, so I have to overcompensate for a crooked pelvis as a foundation. And again, it's not like a lot of crookedness. You know, you wouldn't say, oh, that rider is so crooked. I mean, it could be like, okay, she's fairly straight. But let's see the impact it has on the horse. So that shift of weight creates a lot of drifting from the horse. Now in slow motion, we have drifting to the left because all the weight is there. The mare is struggling to keep her direction because of the weight pulling her to the left. So here comes the inside rein. Oh yes, we are going to help the horse. So the problem with the inside rein is now we are pulling the head and neck to the right a little bit more to try to get the horse to go to the right. But now the horse is like, if I turn to the right, I'm going to fall. So I have to put even more weight in my left shoulder because my rider is to the left, and try to skid around the turn. That's the only thing I can do. So pulling on the inside rein puts her even more into off balance, and she has to drift even more. So if you're not sure, I would recommend to go on your hands and knees, and if you have access to a kid, get the kid on your back and have that kid sit on one side more and try to turn on the other direction. You will feel that actually the horse is just reacting to gravity and laws of physics. She's not being naughty. She just really cannot turn. And if we pull on an inside rein, that makes it even worse. So here we go around, and we make it, but it's a little bit difficult, and I was pulling quite a bit on her. So I'm going to replay the whole sequence without interruption so you can really see the drift and me sitting on the left side and pulling on the inside rein. So here we go. Yeah, there I lean, she's drifting, I lean more, she's drifting, so there I pull. And we make it, but it's really difficult. She's still drifting there. And there we go. So now here comes the correction that I make. So I am not going to be square with the saddle. I'm going to stay on my inside seat bone and have a horizontal pelvis and a vertical spine. That's going to be the first change that I make. and then we'll see the impact it has on the horse. There. So here, pretty much the same picture as before, but now I am straighter. So if you look at my belt line, now I am horizontal, so my spine is vertical and my shoulders are more even. My feet are also more the same height. Maybe my inside foot is a little bit lower than the outside, which is good too. And if you were to divide the weight, put a line in the middle of my back, I'm much more evenly distributed left to right side. It's a struggle. It's not easy because I have to fight the pull toward the outside side of the saddle. So I'm really engaging my right abs and spine stabilizer, deep muscle. So I stay really vertical over my right side. I'm still touching the saddle on the left seat bone, but I'm just not going with the hole. I'm not going in the dip of the outside part of the saddle. And now off we go. There's a little bit less drift. You can see that I'm struggling. I mean, it's a little hard to keep that position, but you see that the mare is taking a good arc on a circle and she is not drifting like she was. So we do it a couple more times. So I'm staying over my right seat bone, and here she goes in a nice circle, and I don't have to use my inside rein. I also using my outside leg to correct. I want her to turn more like a bus. I don't actually want any bend in the neck because she tends to overbend, which causes more weight on the outside shoulder. So I basically want her almost straight. Some extreme cases, you have to even canter flex, so flex them to the outside. But the goal is really to steer the shoulders and not the head and mouth. So I'm going to replay both ways of going so you can see them back to back. So the initial way where she overbends, I am drifting to the outside. She is drifting to the outside. It's, oh my goodness. And now we steer to the inside and we still drifting to the outside. And it's really hard to get off the wall. And you see the quality of the walk is not great. She slows down. And now we have the better way, and look at the quality of the walk there. She has a good rhythm. She keeps going. That mare is 30 years old and she is going and happy. So all this to, really tell you that how much the control of your weight distribution over the horse is important. And again, it is not a saddle fit issue. You might think, oh, a quick way to fix that is we're going to pad the left side of the saddle. So that way I can be square, horizontal to the ground, but also square to the saddle. But the problem is not the saddle. The problem is really the back of the horse, because when we go to the other side, everything is good because the left side's a little lower. It's perfect. But her back being lower on the left side, because she has her rib cage has rotated a little bit. If we pad underneath that left side, we're going to keep that left side lower. And the mare basically has no chance to rebalance herself. But if we do the work with our weight distribution, being really aware of where we are on top of the horse, we can actually help her be able to gradually derotate that rib cage and be straight when she goes to the right as well as when she goes to the left. So just a little note on saddle fit. This was not a saddle problem. So anyway, hope that helps. And I think it's a good visual for, struggling with horses, especially on the hollow side, the side where they overbend or kink at the neck like that. The other thing I wanted to say is that it's not a training issue. between the first part of the video and the second part, it's the same 2 minutes. The horse will react immediately to the weight distribution. You don't need to train them to do that. It's just simple laws of physics. So it's not just about teaching the horse how to move. It's about really controlling our position to help the horse move the best he can.